Hi, this is Michael Uslan. You're listening to Batman on Film.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!
Plug you in, my tuning up frequency. Jett and the crew, they got the remedy. Discussing bats and all his legacy. Mike is savage. Welcome to the social hour. We're talking gospel, flying power. Look in the field of protest, got the keys to the Batmobile. Lights go down the shots about to start. Chance wisdom striking like a dawn. Rebel ways apart. We're in deep, not sleep. Welcome to the social hour, exploring Gotham's darkest hours. Tune in, feel the charge. Jett set the hill with going large.
Welcome to the Social Hour, a Batman on Film podcast, batman-on-film.com. Cannot forget the dashes like Pete Barra did. Ron Lauer. Did you know Pete Barra forgot the dashes once and was
I heard
immediately sent to like some scam, download all your information once you hit that URL.
He's
and
flagged by the FBI.
Way.
Flagged by the FBI. So he's on their he's on their no-fly list right now because he forgot the dashes. So learn that lesson, people. Don't forget the dashes.
Ron Lauer returns to the Social Hour. It's been a little while, not too long.
It's been a while.
Not like months. It's been a while.
It's been a while. Yeah. It has just been. I mean, man.
What the heck's
this
been
summer's
going
been.
on?
What's going on here? What the hell's going on here? There we go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's burn through them all quick. Let's just do it. What the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
No, just busy. We had family visiting from out of town, so that on top of work, and that kept. I think you'd even texted me like. Basically, it was almost like day one that they'd arrived and stuff, and just kind of check it in. And I was like, family from out of town's visiting. I think my schedule is non-existent for the next couple of weeks. We were just kind of busy flying all over the place. And yeah, I don't know. There we go. I don't know. Work.
Yeah.
You
you
work too.
You were still yes. Were you still like had some Batman time during this? You had some. You had podcast. You had you had the Batman book club, and all that going on.
It is known in these here parts. I don't care who's visiting me. I will kick them out the door because I need a little Batman time.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, it's supper time. Like, well, I need some Batman time. Get out. Eat your food out in the road for the next hour. I gotta watch a little Batman, read a little Batman, record a little Batman. I gotta find a way to do that. Unfortunately, I was able to find some time for some Batman podcasting for my show, the Batman Book Club.
Yeah.
Which Bill's been on. I lost count. There's a nice round table of folks that have been on there that I'm like, I don't even count anymore.
Yeah.
Because it's been quite a few appearances.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see.
What about you? You've been busy. You've been traveling.
Summer wise, I think I've talked about it. Started off like in May. I went to Las Vegas to see Sammy Hagar.
You were there for 9 hours.
Yeah, just about. I think I was. I think like it was literally. It was like 36 hours, something like that.
It was like I was about to go to bed. Bill's like, I'm going to Vegas. I wake up. And Bill's like, I partied all night with Sammy Hagar. I'm back in Texas. Have my feet up. I'm in the office working. I'm like, what the hell kind of trip was that, Bill?
And then end of July, we went to New Mexico. Never been to New Mexico. Hell, I even went to Ryan. I went to parts of Texas that I've never been to. Like
That's
I drove.
Crazy.
I drove up from Dallas area up to Amarillo, which is in the I'd never been in the I'd never been west of Fort Worth, basically. So I was west.
How is that
Fort
possible?
Worth. You've seen the size of Texas.
Yeah, it's a cute little state.
Yeah. So I just had never been to the Panhandle. I've never been to far west Texas.
I
still
say
have
that,
it, like El Paso, There's got to be some places in Indiana you've never been,
I was
right?
just gonna say that. I think Indiana is like what, a fourth or fifth the size of Texas, and there's tons of places I haven't been to in Indiana.
Yeah.
So
So
okay, all right, okay.
if you're like Pete again, speaking of Pete, you live in New
Yeah,
Jersey, you're in the, up in the Northeast, you can, you drive an hour, you're in a different state. I mean, you can go to several different states within
yeah,
very short amount of relatively short amount of time. So Texas,
yeah.
long ass drive. So we went to New Mexico, went to Taos, which is a ski town, resort town, artist town, but it was summer. It was very nice. The weather was nice up in the mountains. Never been there.
Your
And
personal Facebook page, like you did, you posted some pictures, and yeah, that looked awesome.
yeah,
Because I was telling you
yeah,
before we were recording that, some I'm not gonna say I didn't know that kind of setting existed in New
yeah.
Mexico, but I know that I'd
You
seen
think
a lot
desert. You think it's like,
desert. Yeah,
you think it's like the Sahara Desert,
yeah.
Um,
That's almost like a
so
thing for like in of all things, Transformers. One of the Transformers, I was watching maybe all of them, I don't know, and they
mhm.
were in the desert, and it was like, oh yeah, they went to New Mexico and they filmed it in New Mexico, and it's like I just feel like I've come across that a lot in TV and movies of like that's their desert, they'll go to New Mexico to film, so that's just what was ingrained in my memory.
Yeah,
So yeah, it was really your pictures were really nice.
yeah. And weather was nice. It was like 50s. Like talk weather here on Batman on Film.
That's right.
Uh 50s, low 50s in the mornings. And when we were there, I think one day it got in the 80s, and the other time it was like high 70s. It was nice.
It's
So
comfortable.
my youngest spawn, Jake, got engaged. That's
Oh my
the reason
goodness.
we went.
Met a girl in New Mexico. 10 hours later, proposed.
Yeah. He yeah,
He's a
just
wild
10
card.
hours later. Yeah. And then Micah found out my middle spawn, Micah, he told me he's getting engaged and
Oh my
is
goodness.
now engaged. He did that up in, I think, in Vermont, where his fiance's from. So yeah,
Look at that.
yeah,
All the
that's
Ramies.
happening. More Ramey's coming. All right.
You're gonna have to get a really
So
nice Batman suit. You got some weddings to go to.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right.
Eventually, it'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah.
I think Jake's is going to be a little down the line, couple years. Micah, I think, will be real pretty soon.
Now, could you imagine that they say, "All right, Dad, we picked a date," and you're like, "All right, what's the date?" And they say October 2nd, 2027, and you'll say,
I'll
"Nope,
say, yeah,
reschedule."
you got to reschedule that. Yeah. And we're going to
We can't
speak
do it
about
that
that.
weekend.
We're going to speak about that date in a second. So, yes, this is the Batman on Film Social Hour, episode
ride.
number 208. I am merely Bill Ramey, founder of Batman on Film. Let's ride.
Let's ride.
All right. Now we're riding. So,
Yep.
Ryan Lauer,
Yeah.
did you
Bill
know
Ramey.
that the Batman Part 2 has started pre-production in the UK?
I have heard.
Yeah.
I think the sirens went off here in my city and said, "Hey,
Yeah.
Batman Part
Yeah.
2 is in pre-production, people. Everybody who's been panicking, this is like reverse engineering of a siren. Of like, usually you start to panic, the siren is supposed to tell you you can stop panicking."
Yes. It was like
It's moving.
when we have the severe weather sirens here,
Yeah.
like tornadoes coming through. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
like and then like the emergency broadcast system. You got all those alerts,
Mhm.
This is not a test. The Batman Part 2 is starting pre-production in the UK.
Yeah.
This is not a test. Okay. It was what have I been saying? We're going to get to pre-production here pretty soon.
Mhm.
Relax. We got the damn script back in June. Well, we didn't. James Gunn and Warner Brothers and DC
No, we did, Bill.
Studios got
We
it
did.
when
It's ours.
Matt Reeves and Mattson Tomlin turned it in. And even when that happened, there were people. I think you and I talked about this, right?
I was just gonna say, I was just looking on Batman Dash on film.com, and Social Hour 204, the Batman Part 2 script is finished. June
Yeah.
28th was when you and I posted the podcast that we talked about it, and that was the last time you and I talked together. So
Yeah.
about
I
a month and a
said,
half.
yeah, I said, um, James Gunn, had said, "Oh yeah, it's great, and we got some stuff to work out, but yeah, we're in the right direction. We're going to meet that date, yeah." And people were still like, "Well, you mean there's stuff to work out? What is that?
Yeah.
That means he's going to cancel it." And and there was, I'm hoping this finally. Okay, it's not going to get canceled. It's not canceled. They're in reproduction. Relax. This is the fun time. It's starting. Okay. We should start hearing casting news pretty soon. And this all comes from productionlist.com. This is a UK trade website.
Legit.
Yeah,
Legit
This
source.
This is where workers or people who work in that industry, they join this. They pay a fee to be able to access the specifics. Who to contact to get work. Whether are you a carpenter? You need help build sets on movies. I mean, it's a lot of people. You just don't show up. They don't show up at Warner Brothers UK studios and go, okay, let's start filming the Batman Part 2. There's sets to build.
Isn't that something? It's like there's just like with work for all of the rest of us.
Yeah.
There is work and planning and a lot of lining up of everything for a movie too. Making a movie is still a
schedules.
Job. It's still
actor
a business.
Schedules.
Yeah, like there's a lot. And so how you just said too, it's not just like Matt Reeves, like, what the hell is taking you so long? Hurry up and just make the damn movie. And it's like Matt Reeves is one of, like, would you say thousands involved?
Yeah.
For the production?
You ever seen credits at the end of a movie?
Yeah, like there's a ton of, and this is coming from someone I'm not like in the business that I know, or sort of deal. It's just like, no, just step back and think like how the bigger the project, the more people involved, therefore the more money and the more planning involved. Like that's, you go to any like massive sporting events going on, just, same thing. Architecture projects, same thing. Like it's no different here than it is with work in general of there's a lot of planning that's involved in some stuff. So all of this is like, I don't know, it's no surprise to me that stuff can take a long time. Some will argue, as we've said many times here, this is taking a lot longer than it should, or a lot of other movies do. And not here to debate that. You and I have quite a few podcasts the past year. But like, I don't know. In the script part that we said the last time we talked too, I don't know. In recent memory, this is the most people have given a crap about a script. Like people, some of it, a lot of it, it just feels disingenuous. Of like, do you really care about the script being done, or you're just trying to talk to try and fit into the conversation and sound all ramped up? It's like the script is finished. It's like when the Dora the Explorer movie was in pre-production. Were you tweeting about the script for Dora the Explorer is finished? Like, the movie's happening. Like, you don't care about the script. Like, just like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, there's a lot of people to hire. I mean, they got to build, as I mentioned, build the sets. They have to make costumes and have all that available. They have to, I mean, just there's a lot. There's a lot.
It's like I said, everything you see on the screen, it has multiple people's hands involved in it.
Look, and I'm not tooting my own horn here, but when I went to the set of The Dark Knight in Chicago at the old post office for my set visit, I'd never been on a movie set, obviously, in my life. I was amazed how many people were working that day.
Yeah.
On that movie. It wasn't just Nolan and the cameraman and the actors, you know what I mean? It was really especially when we broke for lunch and we went and ate along with everyone who was working there that day.
Mm-hmm.
It was a whole freaking tent full of people that were working on that movie that day. Basically, they filmed 3 scenes of the movie, maybe 4, thinking about it. So yeah, a lot involved. So this, between now and also according to productionlist.com, they say filming is confirmed to start January 1st, 2026. Variety piggybacked on that story and says it's a spring 26 shoot. That's possible. And the difference may be they may be doing some second unit stuff starting in January,
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, early in 2026, the damn thing's going to be filming. So
I think
now here's the big go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, because I think even yesterday, so was it Thursday that you posted about that part of the production website?
Mm-hmm.
And then yesterday, Friday, I think it was, I think all the big trades, no, August 7th. So I mean 2 days ago. So there was some 3 days ago. I don't know. It was the day after you put the thing on BOF.
Yeah, it was the next day.
It said that like Deadline, Variety, Hollywood Reporter, and a letter to Warner Brothers Discovery shareholders this morning has confirmed that the Batman Part 2 will finally start filming in the spring. So what you're saying, I think, to even add a little bit more onto it for that spring part is like, well, it seems like it was confirmed filming in the spring, but also as you're saying, like probably second unit stuff.
You remember whatever,
January 1st.
When with the Dark Knight, I remember them filming in New York before. It may have been for Rise.
It was for I remember for Rises. I remember not happening in Dark Knight, but Rises.
They were filming like aerial stuff, helicopter or whatever they use for aerial shots before they started filming in Pittsburgh.
Yep. I remember that. They didn't pick up Christian Bale and Tom Hardy, put them in a helicopter and say, "Come on, guys, let's get these aerial shots of snow in the buildings."
Yeah. So it could be that. It could be it starts in the spring, like March is the spring. It could be it doesn't matter. We're talking about a couple months. The thing's gonna be filming,
It's filming next year.
Yeah. And it'll probably, I don't know I haven't come across where they said how long of a shoot it would be. I'd say like 6 months or something like that. Maybe 9.
That's comfortable to say.
Yeah.
9. Nolan was April for Dark Knight. I just remember that like for whatever reason just stands out in my mind. Dark Knight was like they started in April and then they were done shooting in Hong Kong in November. So it's a 7-month shoot for the Dark Knight.
So so I'll say by around, let's just say 6 months. 6 is good.
6 is good.
And so probably, I don't know, by this time next year, where they could be getting wrapping or close to wrapping.
We'll have
and it's
some
different.
Photos.
We can't compare it to the Batman when it was started filming because it got shut down with COVID and they had to wait and all that. So it's not, it
could have been the longest movie shoot. One of the longest in Hollywood. History. That was what, month and a half, or year and a half, I don't know, 9 months. I don't know, something like that. That was crazy.
The big question is now, is that son of a bitch? You son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch.
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
Is he going to get on that Bosu ball and the 5-pound dumbbell so he's in shape, play Batman?
No, I think that this is my prediction that Matt Reeves and Mattson Tomlin, they're taking some big swings and they're like, Dad bod Bruce, let's do it. And he's just got it. He's got a gut and his pants are sagging and his suit doesn't fit. And it's like, we've never seen that in a Batman movie before. That'll be bold and daring, let's ground this even more where he's eating Funyuns, in the Batcave and drinking Arby's milkshakes. And he's like, I
was going to say like full on Mountain Dew, full of sugars,
Well, that gives you a great body, Bill.
Okay.
That's why I keep pushing it on people. It's like Mountain Dew is the way.
Okay.
Pour it on your Fruity Pebbles.
But speaking, being being for
Your
real
tongue is
here.
firmly placed in your cheek.
Yeah. I would say I don't know. I know he was doing the Odyssey, Christopher
Hmm.
Nolan's movie,
Which
Rob
just wrapped
Pattinson. I'm
filming.
talking to. Okay, so I think that's the only thing he's got. That was he's done this year.
Dune,
Is it
no, Dune 3.
Dune? Okay,
Yeah,
he started. Has he started? He started Dune.
that's filming. I think that is
How
filming
big?
right now
How
with
big of
people.
his role in that is it in that movie?
Don't know, but I thought that your boy Austin Butler, he was in Dune 2. You
Yeah,
know, he was like the like said to be almost like the villain
yeah,
of that one, and I think I'm not even gonna throw out a number of how long but I just was kind of surprised when it came out of his onset shooting schedule was not as long as I expected it to be.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
when Pattinson was cast as he was going to be in the Odyssey, you remember that was another and not to go down this road, another, freak out online of like
yeah,
he's not going to be
yeah,
Batman and blah blah blah. And it's like, look at this, we're not even mid-August and he's done with that. If they were really going to start filming, you know, October, November, December this year for the Batman Part 2 with him. Like, would his schedule allow? Yeah, yeah, he's an actor.
yeah.
And instead now it's like that's such a good thing. He's in two, um, I don't know, uh, prediction, two movies next year that are gonna have tons of eyeballs on them.
Mm-hmm.
Pattinson's gonna be in them. Like
Mm-hmm.
that just bodes well for familiarity before then the following year he's Batman again.
How much? Okay, if I don't know, see, I don't know how big his parts are in either one of these films.
Sure.
So I don't know if he'll be out doing press for them, but he surely will. He'll show up at the premieres, I would
Yeah,
imagine,
absolutely. And he'll get
and he'll
questions.
and he'll get asked about what?
The Batman Part 2.
Yeah,
How's that
which
coming?
is yeah,
How's that coming? I see that you have a dad bod.
yeah,
Is that by choice? That's what the
yeah,
world requests, okay? Let's get this one going. R Confirmed.
yeah.
Robert Pattinson will have a gut in the Batman Part 2.
What's going to be, I think, it's going to be interesting is, and I'm not worried about the time in between, like when he finished filming the Batman and now he's filming the Batman Part Two. It's going to roughly be what, 5 years since he was playing Batman.
Five and basically like 5.5 years between the first and second movie, I think.
I mean, he's going to look the same,
Yeah.
you know, and he's one of those guys that can play younger or play older than his
Hmm.
actual age, because in the there's no time jump other than a few weeks.
That
It's like
we've officially heard
yeah,
from the mouths of
yeah,
those who do know.
yeah.
Correct.
It's like there's the Batman, then right after the Batman, the Penguin took place, and then this takes place within a couple weeks, days,
All
whatever. Right?
all by design of the man who's
Yeah,
in control of it all, Matt Reeves.
yeah.
Like
Because
as
it
we
was,
know,
it's yeah,
literally the Penguin picks up right there afterward
yeah, right
without seeing
after.
Batman.
So
And then the
it's
last shot of the Penguin is that one that we love, spoiler alert, of
mm-hmm,
the bat symbol goes off,
mm-hmm,
in the sky. So that's passing the baton back to Batman sort of deal.
yeah, yeah. It's so the Batman was Halloween. Penguin is probably November, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then this movie, Reeves has said it is not quite the new year, or it's that time of year, Decemberish,
Yeah.
so a few
That
weeks after
excites
the
me.
Penguin.
I
Yeah,
love aesthetic and I love nobody has been uh like I lived in Chicago for a bit and in winter in the city in snow, like just the vibe of it and the look of it and stuff is awesome. Batman Returns, snow in Gotham is great.
hmm,
Like the setting itself, it's like, okay, we haven't had too many moments of snow in Gotham on film. in movies. So just that in itself, and people instantly know it's going to be called, it's Mr. Freeze confirmed. Is like, maybe, I don't know, maybe not. I'm not even thinking about that.
Here's the thing,
Diamonds.
Mr. Freeze. Yeah. Mr. Freeze comes out in the fall, in the summer, in the spring. He does not just operate exclusively in the winter because it's cold. Yeah. I don't get it's going to be this winter in Gotham. It's got to be Mr. Freeze and diamonds.
He's getting them diamonds. But I just think, to me, just that's cool to think of like snowing in Gotham as part of the look of the movie. Like that's cool. That's really cool, and it's different from the last one.
What I'm interested in, not going to be, I already am interested in to see, because we know, I think both Lauren LaFranc and Matt Reeves said, you don't have to have seen the Penguin to get the Batman Part 2. You won't be lost, but it will certainly make the viewing a tad better, if you will. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you just
accentuate the viewing.
You have more depth between. You have more depth with characters. You have you have more time invested in Oz, which if he's, or I shouldn't do quotes, I should do a wink, if he's in the sequel, whenever the Joker, Arkham inmate, shows up again. If we didn't see the deleted scene and that scene at the end of the Batman, like, we've got a little bit more intrigue now, to where it's like, and I that's just how I take it. And I don't know, like, I agree with that. I give you a little bit more if you have watched it.
I wonder how much of, characters who may have been in the Penguin show up in the Batman Part 2. We know it's not going to be the sidekick.
Yeah, I know. I'm blanking.
Totally.
Thankfully, got
Vic,
the Google machine right here. Vic, there you go.
Vic, what was the hell wrong with me?
What the hell's wrong?
Vic, ain't gonna be Vic. Ain't gonna be in there. But what's the girlfriend?
Eve Carlo.
Yeah. We know, how much is Oz in it. I think that's why I don't know if Sophia shows up in the Batman, because of Batman Part 2, because there would be a lot. I mean, let's say people didn't watch the Penguin, and they would be going, who's this? And why, whatever. So I'm fascinated how this is all going to fit, how the pieces fit, who'll show up, how much, and it's just, this is the fun time, right?
Yeah. I think it's, as long as not you specifically, but fans and stuff, just don't write their version and stick to a version in their head.
Yeah.
Because everything that you just said, it's like, we got introduced to characters in the Penguin that were new to us, that are definitely sticking around long term. I would put, all chips in Sophia. I think she knocked everybody's socks off in that show. That it's like, and she carries the Falcone name, so I think she's sticking around in some fashion. Yeah. Anybody else, I don't know. That doesn't mean that I'm going to sit there and I demand to see Sophia in the Batman Part 2. And if she's not, then this movie is BS. This movie sucks. Like, then, okay.
Well, that is a good PSA, is to say, okay, don't start writing the movie in your head, and then it doesn't turn out the way you wanted it, or you thought it should. You get disappointed. It's not, another thing, it's kind of a pet peeve of mine, and it doesn't like I get angry, but when people, I always ask me, who do you think the first thing, who's the villain? you got to rewire your brain here. This is not, you know, the Burton Schumacher series where it was always okay. We're going to have the, after Batman, then it was okay. And Batman in the sequel, we're going to have the Penguin and Catwoman. Okay, now go write a movie, but use Penguin and Catwoman.
Correct. I think it's something
yeah.
though that I can understand. But you're not saying that you don't. I get your point, and I agree with your point. In the creating of a film, it's not. We need to use Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy. All right, go write a movie. It's definitely the Nolan approach of the movie. Now, what villains do fit into the story I'm telling?
Yeah.
I think genuine interest though.
Yeah,
is I do, because I will get that question of, I got it for the Batman of just of is Catwoman in this one? Sort of deal and stuff like that. Because Batman has the great perk more than any superhero is that a lot of folks know more than just one villain of his.
Oh yeah,
they do know quite a few villains of his, and I think that can be what do I say? I don't want to say inarguable, but I'm not a betting man, and I would bet it's like, oh, that's more than any other superhero.
No, I'm not saying don't be interested.
That's what I heard, Bill. You told everybody to shut up.
Well, sometimes I do that, but it's because I'm interested in what characters are going to be in the film and what villains. But it's like when people start with it, like for example, the Mr. Freeze stuff, because it's set in the winter, right?
Yeah.
What about that you saw in the Batman and then in the Penguin makes you think Mr. Freeze will be in the movie?
Now that I'll jump in with you. Yes. 100%. Because I think we can almost say we have general folks like my parents, surprise, Bill, they don't read Batman comics.
You what?
I know. I've almost cut ties with them completely. And they could genuinely have an ask me of like, oh, who's the villain in this one? Sort of deal. And if those people who aren't in the thick of it, I know some you're talking to of like, okay, once you become fans and us who are in, Facebook groups and reading this stuff, it's like, all right, we're getting now a little more niche that we can be more specific in the talks. Like, hold on. Hold on. HODE. Hold on.
Hold on.
The Mr. Freeze thing, I told you I navigate somehow very well of bypassing BS on social media stuff. And it will creep in. And a lot of this for quite a long time was Mr. Freeze talk, like you said. And again, like you said, we also let creators create. Surprise, Reeves and Tomlin, they are doing Mr. Freeze in part 2. Awesome. I want to hear it from them. I don't want to hear some inside scoop that's saying this is what's going on. But like fans, there's too much. This is who it's going to be. And if it's not that, I'm going to be really disappointed when it's like, but the people creating the movie never led you to believe or hinted or tried to make you think this is what was happening. So you created this whole story in your head that now you're not getting that. You're extremely disappointed when the ones creating the story itself never promised you that anyway. It's similar to this casting. I won't even say the route, but you'll know who I'm talking about. Well, there's kind of two names. For like a DCU Batman, for whatever reason, that's all it's talked about. That if and when it's not either of those two actors, there's going to be this massive disappointment when it's like, who the hell said that was even in the running? You've generated this whole thing yourself. And I think that's the point that you're getting to also of like, don't write the story in your head. Don't sit there and think this has got to be the villain, because we just wait.
Let's take a quick pause in this podcast for these words from our sponsor. Fan media doesn't help either.
Yeah.
Because they write multiple outlets, and I'm doing air quotes.
Yeah.
These, write, and let's call it what it is. They're clickbait stories, whole articles about taking a little small thing someone said, who's like James Gunn, usually James Gunn or Matt Reeves, and and just, you know, almost fan fiction, and an article about it that gets fans going. Like, a lot of it was about the casting of DCU Batman, or Matt Reeves was doing. I think he was something for the Penguin, and he was asked, would you like to use Mr. Freeze? And he says, "Oh, I love the character. If we could find a way to make it work, and
This villain more
our
likely to be
you know,
seen in the Batman Part 2.
yeah,
Click, and it's that question. Now
yeah,
add in that it's going to take place in December. The
yeah.
pieces are lining up. It's like,
See
where
what
in
I'm
that does it,
that's exactly what
where
I'm
does that
talking about.
say
Yeah, yeah,
that's happening?
yeah.
It doesn't, but you just click. They got their clicks. They need the money. And you know
Or
what?
here's
You got to
another,
get paid. I
yeah,
understand, but
yeah.
ugh.
Here's another good one. Um, when James Gunn, especially when Matt Reeves is asked, would you? James Gunn recently asked, um, Pattinson becoming the DCU Batman, and it's not, even though James Gunn has said no, no,
You know
no.
what? He's lying.
Even
He wouldn't tell us the truth. He just told us the truth, and I believed him.
I think
But I don't
Matt
believe him
Reeves,
right now.
Matt Reeves was asked by Josh Horowitz. He's like, "Well, we got to see," you know, and they don't get. And then it's like a whole article about Matt Reeves. It's like,
But
Dumb and
James Gunn
Dumber.
wants to work with Matt
It's
Reeves,
like
so
Dumb
that
and Dumber. Yeah,
obviously everything makes sense.
yeah, Dumb and Dumber. So you're saying there's a chance,
Yeah. So you're saying there's a chance.
So I
Yeah.
warn of that kind of stuff too. But
Let's ride.
yeah, we are riding. Let's talk about, along with like Sophia,
Yeah.
what's her future in store? Is it is it Selena and Sophia doing a Max HBO series, limited series at some point? I don't know. Is Sophia in the Batman Part 2? I don't know. I don't know how. That's not my job. I'm not. I always, like I say, let the creatives create. I'm not a creative, so I can't. Wouldn't Sure as hell ain't gonna shock me if Sophia's in it, as
Yeah.
big as she. So, and maybe they had other plans for her.
The
But
actress did, I think, surpassed expectations, which I'd imagine they
yeah,
would have high expectations for whoever they cast. I think she exceeded expectations, and the response to the performance and the character probably, again, probably. So I don't know anything, but I said it just
yeah,
probably exceeded my expectations, and I know of the character of Sophia Falcone.
yeah.
Um, that I we'll we'll see her. My money's on we'll see her again. I just don't know when. And also, like, fans of The Long Halloween and Dark Victory, like, scratch that from Sophia because it's already shown that it can't be. They did influences that were good, um, but Selena slash Catwoman and Sophia in those two stories is much different. Already, it hasn't built to where I don't think that would make sense. It's just she got a letter at her very last scene
Okay,
in
I
the
was going to
Penguin.
ask
She
you
got a
about
letter
that.
from Selena, whereas in
That's got to be
the
for a
story
reason.
they fight,
Well,
and I don't know. And it's like, but I'm not a creative. I'm not in the
yeah,
room. Maybe somehow they take more influence from those two stories
I know
and go
with
from there.
in the world we live in when it comes to this stuff, these movies where there's these Easter eggs and these setups and this post credit scenes and stuff, but it's always like that letter from Selena, excuse me, had to be included for a reason. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But does it?
The reason that we don't, or like, yeah, it's there for a reason. Um, in the let's see, in the Long Halloween, Sophia's really earned, like, she's trying to get, it seems like, acceptance and stuff from the Roman. Ends with the big, villain versus in the Falcone office,
Yeah.
fighting. She falls out, and she doesn't. Selena's trying to help her, and Sophia refuses Selena, doesn't like Selena, and then um the movie already, it's like you can see influence of Selena with Carmine, and then him trying to choke her out, and then in the series it doesn't look like, from Sophia is like puts her dad on this great high pedestal. It's a what he did and betrayed her. So it's almost like the Batman universe, epic crime saga, they're both more seems like a similar position of a betrayal of their father. So they're more, it already seems a little bit more allied than the two stories that Sophia in the comics is.
Yeah,
So for me, I just don't feel like it's not going to be as soon as they meet up and they're going to start fighting sort of deal, because it doesn't make sense that they would. Maybe the Penguin season 2 or in the Batman something or a whole new series, it builds to that to where they fight. Okay. Um, I also doesn't make sense to me that it would sound a little repetitive of like Sophia is just doing nothing but fighting with people.
yeah.
Like, eh. But main point being what you said too is I do feel Selena and Sophia are going to meet up somehow, and we haven't seen the last of Sophia.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the letter is like planting seeds for the Batman Part Two. It could be as simple as it's just world building that
Hmm.
we're talking Selena here, that they are half sisters. I'm with you. I think we see Sophia again at some point in this universe. So this is just pure speculation on our part. Based on what this epic crime saga is, and the Batman, what we saw in the Batman and the Penguin. Any character speculation that, and this is not, we're not writing fan fiction, and I'm not writing the movie, but like, for example, does it make sense for Dent to be in it with, the DA was blown to smithereens by the Riddler.
Every movie makes sense with Harvey Dent to be in it in Gotham City.
Yeah.
Two-Face is another story.
Yeah. Because Dent could be just like the one good assistant district attorney that we haven't met yet who worked. Maybe he never went to the the Iceberg Lounge and the, what is it, the 40 Below? Is that the club?
38?
The club 38, whatever,
Huh.
the club within the
You know
club.
what this sounds like? I need to rewatch the Batman and the Penguin.
Exactly. So that's my example. Like Dent. Any other characters you could say may fit in here, but
did you say 44
we'll
below and I corrected you? I'm sorry, Bill.
I
Cut that out.
I went 38
44 below it is. Okay.
220, 221 below, whatever it takes.
The 221 below. That's in the sequel.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Yeah. So Leslie Tompkins.
Yes.
And I'm not just throwing it out there. I'm also like, well, Mattson Tomlin did write Batman the Imposter, and Leslie Tompkins was a major character in the Imposter. He's writing the script with Matt Reeves or he wrote the script along with Matt Reeves for Part 2. Kind of fits this Bruce, right?
Yes.
That version of Leslie Tompkins.
She is another one. Not as much as Dent, I don't think. But Leslie Tompkins could fit a lot. But I could see the Batman. Where was the need for, a psychiatrist or psychologist? There wasn't that much because Bruce Wayne was, was kind of a hermit. He was indoors. He wasn't public. We have a feel that he is going to be more public in the sequel, right?
He has to be more.
Totally.
He has to be more as Bruce Wayne. He has to be more as Batman.
Man, couldn't it not? And I'm not writing the story in my head. It just seems to me it makes absolute sense that there's opportunity there that he goes to see a doctor for this. How to what do you want to say? Toe the line of, acting in public versus privately. Does he reveal more to Leslie than most people about what he's up to and why there's more issues? And I don't know. I think the opportunity for an interesting subplot is definitely there, much
Yeah.
more than just a fanboy that wants to see this character in a
Yeah.
movie.
Yes. I'm gonna give Pete credit. When I talked on the phone with him yesterday,
Don't give him any.
He brought that up, and he's like, almost like this Tony Soprano type, Bruce Wayne going to see a psychiatrist, something we haven't seen in a Batman movie before. Unless you want to, if you count Batman Forever and Dr. Chase
Forever,
Meridian, a
I
little
I
bit, you
do
got a little
I
bit
do
there.
count. I count
Yeah,
that. I
but
do.
not it. He wasn't like officially a patient of hers. You know what I'm saying?
Like, yeah, true. He did just show up to beat down a door and then hit on her.
Yeah, yeah.
Do
But
you
like,
prefer an older Leslie? Like around like even though this Alfred in this universe is younger than other Alfreds, do you prefer Leslie is, around Alfred's age, or would you like
that doesn't matter.
you don't care
I
either way?
no.
I think I just always
I
envisioned that she is an adult figure to Bruce that he looks up
yeah.
to.
I would say someone like age of his parents.
Yeah. And I do like, and I'm open for other interpretations as long as it's just not like completely freaking out there. Um, of like I do like the stories, the comic stories from 70s, 80s beyond, and then also in the animated series where, she knew his parents. I just think that's another a cool link that they can really draw a story from because it's keeping the Wayne parents who are basically the reason for Batman, keeping them in
Yeah,
a discussion is because he can ask of like when she's like, yeah, your father, I remember when blah blah blah, your mother, blah blah blah, and it's I do like that angle, but again, say she's Bruce's age and okay. If
yeah.
that's the story they tell, then
If
okay.
that's okay. Lucius Fox.
Yeah.
Bruce wants to take. I'm sure he'll want to take a more active role in Wayne Enterprises because he didn't care in the Batman, and now we know. He's got to do more. Does he seek out someone to run Wayne Enterprises that either he knows or is recommended to him or he trusts? You know what? Whatever.
You know what?
I don't want him to. I don't want Lucius if they use Lucius in that. I don't want him to become his Q like in the Dark Knight. They did it in the Dark Knight trilogy. It was awesome in the Dark Knight trilogy. Let's leave it in the Dark Knight trilogy.
I trust whatever they come up with.
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman and Lucius Fox, similar to how you said your comments of like what'd you say about the Batman to James Gunn is like an inconvenient success or something like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Dark Knight trilogy of Lucius Fox is almost an inconvenient success. I think that's ingrained in people's Lucius Fox, he wasn't born in the Dark Knight trilogy.
No.
He's been around for decades, and that had such I think an imprint on that character that if Lucius Fox is included, that's the expectation. And I think it will if he's different than that, I think it's gonna rub people differently, and either they'll be like, it's just not that kind of attitude, or it takes a long time for them to accept. Because I just think that character got ingrained in everybody's memory by
Are
what
you
he was in
saying?
those movies.
Are you saying as the Bat
Q,
Gadget guru, the
yeah,
Q?
yep, that he
Yeah.
knows he helps Bruce in keeping everything under wraps, um, hiding the stuff and creating the stuff. I think that's what's ingrained. Um, but if they just keep him on, if Bruce doesn't involve Wayne Enterprises in his Batman stuff, I think you can keep Lucius as the business Wayne Enterprises only without people being like feeling a little like hard to
Yeah.
accept.
It's I would. I'm not saying they use Lucius. I'm just saying
Sure.
there is an opening for someone that
Yeah.
Bruce trusts to run Wayne Enterprises because it's kind of floundering in a way
Yeah.
because he wants no part of it,
Yeah.
and it's like, he like Alfred says, I had to bring these people to you because you won't go to them,
Yeah. Laid the foundation for that. And then
Yeah.
also with Bella Real at the funeral, their quick little exchange, Bruce and her. I think it's laying the foundation for the sequel. We're going to have more public Bruce with that, I think does include Wayne Enterprises.
I like Bruce making his own stuff in this version. I like the simplicity of
I
it,
do too.
and I hope it remains that way. I don't want him to, like all of a sudden we get the Lucius Fox Q again, and I think it would be a retread on the Dark Knight trilogies.
And I understand that, sequels expand and get bigger, but there is something to me that I do enjoy keeping it small in scope. Let's keep it in Gotham. And Bruce doesn't have to figure out a way to create his own plane to fly over oceans and stuff like that. It's like, I like it staying in Gotham, in which then that to me, he has to get fewer people involved because what does he need? He needs a way to get around. Well, he can't. He has his own Batmobile. That's all that he needs. So he doesn't need Lucius, I need your help because I need new gadgets. I need new this. It's him making it himself, and therefore nobody else needs to know outside of that. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah. And we're going to wrap up here in just a second. But on this same note, I get asked a lot about this is kind of like who's the villain? It's like, what about the new bat suit? I don't see it changing all that much, if at all.
I don't even like I don't like speculating because even with that, I'm like, do you think? I'm like, I don't know. If they do, cool. I'll judge it when I see it. If they don't, cool, because I like what we got.
Because we saw him at the end of the Batman when he meets Selina. The only thing they really introduced new is he's got the bat motif on the front of the bike.
Yeah.
But he's in a clean, it looks like clean version of the same suit he was wearing before.
Yeah. And I mean,
I'm sure he tweaks it by his own doing, but I don't think it's going to be like Panther suit to Sonar suit, the Batman and Robin suit to the ice suit, freeze suits, kind of.
I mean, you could even say,
stuff.
I mean, I was just going to say the Dark Knight. I mean, he opened with his Begin suit, but then he'd said with, restrictions on that, and then it then becomes a new suit. Sure, maybe, I don't know, maybe that happens in the next movie.
And then
maybe
in Dark Knight Rises, there was no, it was just the suit, that one suit after the one that he got in the Dark Knight. Any gadgets, vehicles, anything? See, you got to think in terms of this universe.
I mean, he's got I'm trying to think. Bill, I haven't watched the Batman since my birthday last year.
You need to do something
almost
about
a
that,
year.
sir.
I know. I haven't watched it at all this year. Cancel family plans. I've got to watch the Batman. You're not gonna see me today.
Sorry, guys. Yeah.
Have you seen it before? Yeah, I've seen it a lot. Then why? Shut up. You don't know me then.
Yeah.
The grapple gun.
Yeah.
Like, I am blanking. Did he use it in the Batman? I'm seriously running through my head. Like, which scene was it? I know he.
Yeah.
Because
when he shoots up in the police.
Yes. Okay. Now. Okay. Thank you.
Department.
Oh, and when he breaks into the Iceberg Lounge.
Yeah.
And all that. And yeah, because that's great.
And then
great
and
sound.
At the end, he grapples the finale, grapples at the Gotham Square Garden. Yeah. You're about to lose your Batman card, sir.
I know. Jeez. I really need to rectify this. I need to maybe just spend one whole day, take it off from work, and just watch the Batman like 6 times. I chug a 2-liter Mountain Dew and let's ride. No, I mean the grapple gun. That to me, it seems like okay. There's one tool in Batman's belt. A lot of people would say batarangs, and I'd say no, grapple gun, because he needs to get on the roof, and because that's where Batman's at. He's high above everybody. He needs to grapple gun.
He didn't use batarangs like we usually think.
Yeah,
so batarang in the Batman. Maybe he comes up with some batarangs.
It was the chest knife.
Yeah, and it was kind of a knife thing.
So. Yeah, gadget wise, it's like the top 2 things that I think of are grapple gun and batarangs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so out of those 2, Maybe batarangs, if the
Yeah,
story
I don't
requires
expect
it.
him to have any kind of flying vehicle ever in this series,
And if he
like
does,
the bat.
yeah, I'll judge the movie
Well,
that's
you want to go
presented to
old
me.
school, like do the whirly
The bat
bat,
gyro and the whirly
bat
bat.
gyro. Yeah, the bat gyro. Something I could see something like that he makes.
No, I
But
want to see
anyway,
him in that little thing as he's just flying around.
yeah, like
Hey, penguin? No, penguin.
all right.
All right. What else we got?
Last
Thing.
topic. I have to bring this up.
Okay.
The Robin rumor that just went everywhere, was everywhere in our sphere of life, in our world, our bubble. Like, announcer Rachel has no clue about this story.
Yeah.
That Robin is part of the Batman Part 2. And I'll say this started with what's his name? Jeff Snyder. Said a lot of very nice things about the script. And then he said, and he also mentioned and was told that Robin is included. Look, I'll say this. I don't know if Robin is not or is in the Batman Part 2. I will say I think a foundation for Matt Reeves' version of Robin to join the epic crime saga at some point were planted in the Batman. I think his and it's not just, I don't think the mayor's kid is going to become Robin, but I'm saying in the draw to that kid, to see himself in that kid, in the mayor's son, is something. And then him, wanting to be more as Bruce Wayne, more as Batman, maybe helps out someone, a kid who's has a similar, loses his parents, whatever the story is. I think Matt Reeves, just like no one before him, is a completist and would want Robin to be part of his Batman saga. I don't know if he's in it or not, but I'm leery of this story because there's stuff that this individual has hit on. There's a lot he hasn't. And and the fact that, and what do you think? And Matt Reeves called it nonsense. No, I'm sorry. James Gunn called it nonsense.
He said, guys, please stop believing this nonsense. I think 6 of us have read the script. Again, 6, because 6 is good.
Yeah.
No one knows anything about the Batman 2. I think if it's true, James Gunn would come out and debunk. It's not his position. Yes, he's the head of DC Studios, co-head. I think everything shows that he's an honorable dude. That he and Matt Reeves get along. Matt Reeves, he was dad bodying it in the back of pictures at the Superman premiere. He was there. I don't know if you saw any of that. He was in the background of pictures, like just like walking by and stuff. And like that's Matt Reeves' decision to, and we have cast Bill Ramey as Dick Grayson, Robin in the Batman Part 2. Sorry, Bill, I don't think it's going to happen. So if it is, Gunn would debunk it. He's getting out here now to debunk it. People are choosing, I guess, when James Gunn's telling the truth and when he isn't. Okay. I don't care if he is or isn't.
Yeah.
If Robin is or isn't.
If Robin ends up being in it, I'm cool because I trust Matt Reeves. Also, I'm not going to go, James Gunn, you're a liar. You son of a bitch.
Yeah. You son of a bitch.
Because
I don't want some.
Why would he ruin
it for me?
Yeah. Why would he ruin it? He wouldn't. He would just say, no, it's bullshit. And who cares? Yeah. Well, you were lying.
Stop paying attention to to insiders with stuff. I have just
Yeah.
because it's tiring and I don't really care that much anymore. Wait until it's confirmed via James Gunn, Matt Reeves, Matt Santana at this point.
It's just it
I
is.
just I'm not gonna say I believe or I don't that he is. It's like we
That's what
knew
I'm
this.
with you.
We knew this after we watched the Batman the first one
Yeah.
was like, huh, could there be a Robin? Like the discussions were already there. And if they
Yeah.
want to include that character, then okay, then it's
Yeah.
their story to tell, and we judge a story when it's complete. I just don't want somebody trying to get attention to, to be throwing that crap out there. And maybe the source, it works out.
Yeah.
Also, this is a good odds, like, I'm just going to throw all this shit out there because it's a 50-50 shot that there's a Robin. Either he is or he isn't
Yeah.
in the sequel. And it seems like Snyder has, uh, let's see, I want to say a background that many will argue with as far as takes of his, whether something worked out or didn't. I don't know. Haven't done the work on him. Uh,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to talk about it unless something comes out that Robin is in the movie and that it's not Damien.
Yeah.
That's just kind of where I stand, which I don't know if that's really even an answer. It's just like
No, it is.
I don't
I'm
care.
with you.
I
I'm
just
with
don't
you.
care.
We're in agreement. I say, we talked about it. I mentioned it just a moment ago. I would say the seeds of a Robin that fits this world. Just the role that Dick Grayson plays, primary Dick Grayson plays in the Batman mythos.
Yeah.
There's seeds planted in the Batman where I remember when the movie came, I first saw it, and someone asked me, could there be Robin in this? And I said, I see how eventually you could get something along those lines from what I saw in this movie. So that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
But I'm not. The scoop game is such a bullshit game, man. It's just, you can throw a lot of shit out there, and then something's going to stick. Something will stick.
And because there's so much thrown out, people can kind of say whatever they want, and it's forgotten that they were throwing a bunch of crap out there.
I mean, like, for example, James Gunn, someone, like, while he's filming Superman, someone said, there's like Bizarro, there's a Superman clone in the movie. Spoiler alert. And James Gunn said, oh, that's hogwash. I don't know if he used that term, but I'm going to use it because I like it. Hogwash.
Hogwash.
And of course, I'm sorry if you didn't see Superman, that too bad. There's Ultraman. There's a clone of Superman in the movie. I don't care if Gunn lied. Why would he say, oh yeah, you got me on that one? Yeah,
I think there needs to be more lying.
Movie.
I think directors, writers, actors need to lie more. I really do.
Lie your ass off.
Yeah.
Just start lying your asses off. And you know what? Cares? They do. So do actors. Just like when Ben Affleck said he'd be an ape on the fucking ground for Matt Reeves, and knowing he wasn't going to play Batman in the Batman for Matt Reeves.
The amount of questioning on every single angle of everything is that I think James Gunn should comment on one and say, yes, Robin's in the movie. Go to another one and say, absolutely not, Robin's not in the movie. Like, just feeding bullshit at both angles, because it's just like, why not? Because people just need to shut up and stop asking questions and trying to, I don't know, it's annoying. People can't enjoy movies.
I like James Gunn quite a bit, and I'm a fan of his stuff, but there was a period where I thought, is there shenanigans at hand with James Gunn and, the Batman and Reeves with, like I said,
you've mentioned that on here before.
Success. I don't believe that anymore. I believe he's firmly committed to Matt Reeves being able to tell this epic crime saga, the Batman epic crime saga, the way he intended, with 3 films and Max spinoffs. Mm-hmm. I do. And I believe he 100% supports it. And I also believe he wants to be in business with Matt Reeves in the DCU going forward. I told was it you? I was on a social hour. I said the only way if Pat, that I would go, okay, I will be open to Pattinson being DCU Batman is that he said, all right, Matt Reeves is a producer with creative input on anything involving that Batman. That way I'd go, okay, that's fair. I'm open. But
You'll watch anything Batman though, Bill. You'll watch anything
at least
Batman.
once.
There you go. You will.
I'll at least give it a try.
You'll approach it with less disdain if Matt Reeves is involved.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's where we're at. We'll finish up here. I'll mention that I did like on social media because Guns very good. Someone wrote, James, why are you doing allowing the Batman Part 2, Matt Reeves to do it when it's not DCU Batman? It's going to confuse fans. And he goes, you don't seem to be confused.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. I saw that. That made me laugh.
So we're not going to get an old DCU Batman thing here, but what we got right now, we got the Batman Part 2 is in pre-production. Filming will begin soon, and we're going to start hearing a bunch of casting news before you know it. Like this year, Ryan.
Yeah.
And it's August. We're on a downslide of this year. So this
will
fun
become
time.
Public actors that have signed on to the sequel. It'll become public, and then we'll get to know, because usually it's never. Let's pick because it's definitely not happening. Brad Pitt is joining the Batman Part 2, cast in the Batman Part 2. A name like that, I feel, always ends up saying he'll be playing and says whoever that is. Sometimes not crapping on anyone like lesser known, like a next tier or two below that. Later on,
role,
starts to become more like this person have also joined the Batman Part 2. Like it starts to become that later in the process because it becomes, I feel, smaller roles and whatever. But the first ones out the gate are for the bigger, meatier roles, which then are ones that they end up saying who it is, because it's like, well, this is like the second, third name on the call sheet at this point.
Yeah. And I do believe that core group of the cast that we saw in the Batman, they're going to be part of this saga.
I do too. I put money on that. I mean, I'm not putting any money on anything.
Selena, the Riddler, Paul Dano, Oz, Colin Farrell. Yeah.
Your boy Martinez.
He's promoted to detective.
You know what? We go to Warner Brothers in California if he is not in the sequel. Okay,
we'll
I'll
pick it.
Get,
all right.
I'll get a whiteboard and we'll write some justice for Martinez.
So yes, so as I say, enjoy the ride. Let's ride. So
let's ride.
It's gonna be fun times. All right, let's. This was a full-on Batman BOF Social Hour. Yeah, and they're going to be more of these because if you didn't know,
Batman Part 2 is coming.
The Batman Part 2 is coming. It's
in production,
and it's about to.
It's in pre-production.
It's about to pre-production, and it's about to start filming pretty soon.
You know what, Bill? Until they're on set filming, it could still get canceled.
Well,
it could. I tell you, it could get canceled.
Okay. All right. That is true. Anything you want to mention? Batman Book Club. What you got going to Batman Book Club? You got you're reviewing Batman.
Doing some things. You know what? Go to batman-on-film.com. Go there, and you could type in Ryan Lauer. Look at my ego right now, and that's where what I'm up to. Like you can find on batman-on-film.com.
Can you mention anything? What is coming up on Batman Book Club?
I had a fun, unpredictable summer. I had Steve Englehart on my show. I got to talk to Steve Englehart. Check that out. You posted that on Batman on Film as well, wherever you listen to podcasts. I had Scott Beatty on to talk about creating or adapting the Batman Begins comic book. What a great discussion that was.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And when I say great discussion, it's because it's like I was very entertained to just hear from him. It's not because of like, man, I was so good on that. But no, I loved sitting and listening to Englehart talk about creating strange apparitions, hearing Scott Beatty adapt. And then also I had Tom King back on my show where he talked about the Play For Me, the Batman Elmer Fudd comic, as well as, you know, jumping through Batman Killing Time, which I don't know if you read Killing Time. Buy it if you haven't and read it. That story is awesome. I talked about that and a bunch of his other stuff. And then all those are on Batman on Film. And then I've been reviewing all summer the last Halloween took, I think, the summer off for some reason. Reviewing that on BOF. The Hush 2 has 4 chapters out. I've been reviewing those as well. Those are on BOF. Yeah, there you go. More written reviews, BOF.
Anything
more podcasts
you want to
coming.
tease? Anything you want to tease? Any book? Any particular stories? Guests?
Man, Garrett Grabb's coming on my show. That'll bring a spike in ratings.
What's he doing? Superman? Talking Superman?
Yeah, he just wants to talk about Superman. So I get him on there to tell him no, and then we end it. It's a really good, brisk 90-second episode. No, that'll be coming up where we're going to talk Batman the World. Jay Oz is coming back on. He's one a lot of people are familiar with because I've had him on quite a bit, where we talked Batman Gotham Knights number 32. It's called 24/7. That right there, most people I think will be like, I'm not sure. Like, I don't know what that is. Guarantee you see the cover to that issue and you say, oh yeah, that one. So do you know which one I'm talking about right now, Bill?
Not yet.
Then I show you that cover.
Yes.
You know that cover.
Yes.
And we just talked about that issue. That'll actually be my next episode. So yeah, that's fun. I'm gonna do some Joker talk because it's his 85th this year and nobody's talking about it. Do some discussions on him. Just talked to you before recording that you're gonna come back on, and then Mr. Englehart agreed. So by the end of this year, gonna try and have him back on to talk Dark Detective, the sequel to Strange Apparitions, as well as more of these. He and Marshall Rogers had more outlines and had even started working on a sequel to that sequel, and then Rogers had passed away. So he'll give more insight on that and stuff too. So all that's coming up on the Batman Book Club.
Yeah, all I got is the same, batman-on-film.com. Still reviewing Absolute Batman comic book wise, and I'm really hyped up. As I've said it again, I'll say it again. This is my wheelhouse. This is Batman on Film's wheelhouse when there's a Batman movie.
Yeah.
And pre-production, in production, in post-production, and up till it's released. So this is the good times right here.
So let's ride.
Let's ride. All right, announcer Rachel will finish up here. We'll catch you next time.
You have been listening to the BOF Social Hour, Jett's official podcast on Batman on Film. Follow BOF on Threads at The Batman on Film. Follow BOF on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Batman on Film. To help keep BOF up and running, go to patreon.com/Batman on Film, or you can buy BOF a beer at buymeacoffee.com/TheRealBatmanOnFilm. For Jett and everyone at BOF, I'm announcer Rachel. Authoritative, definitive, the original, Batman on Film, founded in 1998.